Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today and going deep into these AI chatbots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, specifically DeepSeek and ChatGPT.
Yeah,
I feel like those are the two that keep coming up these days, in 2025.
absolutely. Yeah, those are the leading contenders, I think.
Yeah, they are. And we're using this article from DataCamp. It's called DeepSeek versus ChatGPT AI Model Comparison Guide for 2025.
Nice.
And it's super in-depth. It's really cool. And I've just been hearing so much about both of these tools.
Yeah.
And I'm super fascinated to just kind of like unpack what makes them tick.
Yeah.
And, figure out which one might be the right fit for folks.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, why is this relevant, to our listeners? Is that these AI models are now, they represent a very different way of interacting with technology.
Okay.
And so understanding their strengths and weaknesses can be super valuable for, anybody really.
Yeah.
From coders to just, people who are interested in AI.
For sure. For sure. Okay, so let's start with like the basics. Like, what is the difference between these two?
Sure.
On the surface, they seem kind of similar.
Right.
Right? They both they generate text.
You've hit on a key point there. It's all about what's going on under the hood.
Okay.
So DeepSeek uses something called a mixture of experts
Okay.
approach. So imagine a team of specialists, right? And each of them has their own expertise. And only the most relevant members of that team are going to tackle any task that you give it. So you could imagine it's got 671 billion parameters.
Whoa, hold on.
But-
671 billion.
671 billion.
That's mind-blowing.
I know, right? It only uses a subset of those for each task.
Okay.
ChatGPT, on the other hand, uses a more traditional transformer model. So it's kind of like having all experts working on everything,
Okay.
which, can provide consistency,
Right.
but it may not be as efficient as DeepSeek.
I see. So DeepSeek is like
Yeah.
bringing in the A-team for every job,
Exactly.
but only the A-team members who are relevant for that specific job.
Exactly.
And ChatGPT is like, I've got my team, and they're all going to work on this.
Everyone's doing it, yeah.
No matter what. Okay, interesting. And so, so we've got these 671 billion parameters.
Yeah.
Can you just break that down for me? Like, what does that even mean, like, in real terms?
Yeah, so these parameters are basically like the building blocks of an AI model's knowledge.
Got it.
So the more parameters, the more nuanced and complex its understanding of the world can be.
Okay.
So DeepSeek having 671 billion, it means it has an incredibly vast knowledge base.
Okay.
But remember, it doesn't use all of them at once. It only uses the ones that are needed
Okay, that makes sense.
for each task.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like having a huge library,
Exactly.
but I'm only going to check out the books that I need for the project.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I like that analogy a lot. Okay, so ChatGPT, how does that compare?
So ChatGPT relies on what's called a transformer model,
Okay.
and it's a powerful architecture for sure, but it's more like having all the experts working on every task, even if their specific skills aren't needed.
Gotcha. So it's a less efficient, but
Potentially less efficient, yeah.
okay.
But it does provide that consistency.
Got it. Okay. So DeepSeek is a little more like specialized task force,
Yeah.
and ChatGPT is more like
A generalist.
a well-rounded generalist. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how do those differences in architecture, how do they play out
Yeah.
in performance? Like, what is each one good at?
That's a great question.
I mean, presumably they each have their strengths and weaknesses.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
DeepSeek shines in technical fields, especially math.
really.
Yeah, it can solve incredibly complex equations
Right.
and achieve an accuracy that surpasses many other AI models.
Okay, so the article was mentioning that DeepSeek has like a 90% accuracy rate in math.
I know, it's pretty impressive, right?
That's really high.
Yeah.
I mean, what makes it so good at math? Is it just the parameters?
It's more than just the number of parameters. It's the mixture of experts approach that allows DeepSeek to dedicate specific experts to mathematical tasks. So it's like having a team of mathematicians working together, each bringing their unique skills to the table
Yeah.
to solve different parts of a problem.
Okay.
And that targeted approach leads to a very high accuracy.
Okay, so if I'm struggling with a calculus problem,
Yes,
DeepSeek is my guy.
DeepSeek is your go-to. Absolutely.
Okay.
ChatGPT might be able to provide some basic assistance,
Yeah.
but its strengths lie elsewhere. It's known for its ability to understand context and nuance, which makes it particularly good at generating human-like text
Okay.
and engaging in conversations that require more nuanced understanding.
Okay, so ChatGPT is less about number crunching
Yeah.
and more about understanding the Like
the subtlety.
the subtleties of how humans talk
That language, yeah.
and communicate and stuff. Okay.
Exactly.
So can you give me an example? Like how
Yeah.
would that actually work?
Sure. Imagine you're trying to write a blog post that needs to be both informative and engaging.
Okay.
ChatGPT can help you craft text that flows naturally, uses the appropriate language,
Okay.
maybe even incorporates humor or emotion.
Interesting.
It's like having a writing partner who can help you find the right words to connect with your readers.
Yeah, like an editor almost.
Kinda, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So DeepSeek is like technical heavy lifting.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is
More
the
creative.
creative and nuance and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's really interesting. So how about like user friendliness?
Ah.
Are they both like equally easy to use?
So there are some differences there in terms of user experience.
Okay.
DeepSeek, because it's open source, offers a lot of customization options,
Okay.
but that flexibility comes with a steeper learning curve.
Sure.
You might need some technical know-how to really harness its full potential.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, on the other hand, prioritizes ease of use. It's designed to be intuitive,
Right.
accessible even for those who aren't familiar with coding or AI concepts.
So ChatGPT is kind of like a
Yeah.
more like user-friendly app,
Exactly.
and DeepSeek is for people who like to
Yeah.
tinker.
Who like to tinker under the hood, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One other question before we move on to like
Yeah.
the specifics of each one.
Yeah.
So how do we actually access these tools? Are they both
Yeah, that's a good question.
equally easy to get to?
Well, DeepSeek being open source is free to use.
Okay.
ChatGPT, on the other hand, operates on what we call a freemium model.
Okay.
So you get some basic features for free, but you need to pay a subscription
Gotcha.
to unlock the full capabilities.
So DeepSeek is like the free music app with ads, and ChatGPT is
Yeah,
Spotify Premium.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about finding that right balance for
Yeah.
your needs and budget.
Okay, so we've got some cost considerations as well.
We do.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's actually take a look at the specific features.
Yes.
And see how they compare like head to head.
Let's do it.
So we'll dig into that after the break.
Okay, so we kind of laid the groundwork. We explored how DeepSeek and ChatGPT work.
Right.
And now let's get into like the features.
I'm looking at this article from DataCamp, and they have this really cool like feature comparison table.
Oh, cool.
So I'm kind of curious to see like, how those architectural differences we talked about
Yeah.
actually like play out, like
Right.
what each one is good at and not so good at.
Yeah, so remember, DeepSeek is all about efficiency and specialization, right?
Right.
ChatGPT prioritizes a broader understanding of context and nuance, and
Yeah.
those core differences really manifest in the features that each AI excels at.
Okay, cool. So like let's actually break it down like feature by feature.
Okay.
The article talks about writing, coding, brainstorming research. Like
Sure.
where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with writing,
Okay.
because it's something that, a lot of people can relate to.
Right.
So ChatGPT is particularly strong when it comes to generating creative and engaging written content.
Okay.
So think blog posts, marketing copy, even scripts for podcasts.
Wow.
It excels at producing text that flows naturally
Yeah.
and captures those nuances of human language.
So ChatGPT is my go-to if I want to like
Yeah.
write a short story.
That's
to
a
come up
lot.
with ideas for a blog post or something like that.
Yeah, it can even adapt its writing style to match a specific tone or voice.
Oh wow. So I can be like make it sound like Hemingway or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give it prompts and it can adjust.
That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what about DeepSeek?
So DeepSeek is less about that creative flair and more about precision and accuracy.
Okay.
So it's a powerful tool for generating technical documentation reports.
Right.
Anything that requires a high level of detail and factual correctness.
Yeah, so DeepSeek is more like
Yeah.
research papers and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, for researchers, anyone working in a field that demands meticulous documentation.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So ChatGPT, more creative writing.
Yeah,
DeepSeek, more technical writing.
more technical.
Got it. Okay. So let's talk about coding.
Yeah,
I feel like that's another area where both of these
absolutely.
would be really interesting.
So ChatGPT is fantastic for explaining code, breaking down complex concepts into more digestible chunks.
Okay.
So if you're learning to code or trying to understand a new programming language, it can be an invaluable resource.
So it's like having a coding tutor.
Exactly. It can guide you through the process.
Nice.
Now, DeepSeek, remember those specialized experts we talked about?
Yeah.
DeepSeek can activate the experts that are specifically designed for tasks like generating code, optimizing algorithms, and even debugging.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
ChatGPT is more like learning about code and understanding it.
Yeah, understanding code.
Getting things done.
Let's do it.
Like-
Yeah, that's it. Like really practical. Exactly. I like that. Okay, cool. How about brainstorming?
Okay.
I mean, that's
That's a good
not something I would normally think of as like an AI thing, but...
Well, so ChatGPT is a natural fit for brainstorming.
Okay.
It can generate a wide range of ideas, explore different perspectives, and even play devil's advocate to help you consider all angles. So it can help you think outside the box.
Exactly. It's like you're brainstorming, buddy.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about DeepSeek?
DeepSeek takes a more focused approach.
Yep.
So it might not generate as many diverse ideas,
Yeah.
but it excels at exploring a specific concept in depth.
Okay.
So imagine you have a general idea for a project,
Right.
but you need to flesh out the details and consider different approaches within that framework.
Gotcha.
DeepSeek can be incredibly helpful.
So ChatGPT is like wide net,
Yeah.
and DeepSeek is like
Focus.
focused. Okay.
Gaze your focus.
I like it. Okay. Let's talk about research.
Sure.
So can these AIs actually help us like learn new things?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. ChatGPT is excellent at breaking down complex information into easy-to-understand chunks.
Okay.
It can explain concepts clearly, provide relevant examples, and even generate summaries of lengthy texts.
Okay, so ChatGPT is kind of like a
Yes.
teacher almost.
Yeah, like a personal tutor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now, DeepSeek takes a different approach to research.
Okay.
Remember that massive knowledge base we talked about?
Yeah.
DeepSeek can quickly access and process information from
Yeah.
a vast array of sources.
Okay.
So it's excellent for fact-checking, finding relevant studies, and even uncovering connections between different pieces of information that you might have missed.
So it's less about like
Yeah.
explaining things in detail
Exactly.
and more about like
Finding the information.
finding the information and then
connecting the dots.
connecting the dots. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, one other thing before we move on.
Okay.
What about privacy?
Ah, yes, privacy. So ChatGPT takes user privacy very seriously.
Okay.
It adheres to strict data protection standards,
Okay.
ensuring that your personal information is handled responsibly and securely.
Good to know. Good to know.
DeepSeek, because it's open source, might have varying levels of data protection.
Right, because anyone could be kind of like
Exactly.
running it.
It depends on how it's implemented by individual users or organizations.
So ChatGPT, I guess, would be the safer option if I'm like
If you're concerned about privacy.
working with sensitive information or something.
Absolutely.
Okay, good to know. All right, so we've talked about a lot of the features, how these are used in the real world.
Yeah,
But let's actually talk about like how people are actually using this stuff.
let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about like the features,
Yeah,
like how these things work.
right.
But I'm kind of curious, like how is this stuff actually being used?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like in the real world?
It's fascinating to see how quickly AI is being integrated, across industries.
Yeah.
One area where we're seeing a huge impact is in healthcare.
Okay.
So imagine using AI to analyze medical images
Okay.
and helping doctors detect diseases earlier and with greater accuracy.
So DeepSeek would be good at that, presumably.
Yeah, DeepSeek's strength in those technical fields, particularly its ability to process and analyze complex data, makes it well suited for that kind of task.
That's amazing. So like AI is helping doctors make diagnoses.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's incredible. What about like other areas of healthcare?
So AI is also being used to personalize treatment plans
Okay.
by analyzing a patient's medical history, their genetic information,
Right, yeah.
even lifestyle factors.
Wow.
AI can help doctors tailor treatments to individual needs.
So it's not just about diagnosis, it's about
This whole process.
the whole process of like
Yeah.
figuring out the best treatment plan.
Exactly.
Wow, okay. So healthcare obviously is huge.
Yeah.
What about other industries?
Well, education is another field where AI is really making a big impact.
Okay.
Imagine AI tutors that can provide personalized instruction,
Okay.
adapting to each student's learning style and pace.
That would be incredible.
Oh, right.
Especially for people who maybe
Yeah.
don't thrive in a traditional classroom.
Absolutely. And ChatGPT, with its ability to explain complex concepts in a clear and engaging way, could be a powerful tool for creating those kinds of learning experiences.
So it's like ChatGPT is the teacher,
Yeah,
and it's adapting to each student.
exactly.
Wow, okay. So we've got healthcare, we've got education.
Right.
What else?
Well, the business world is embracing AI in a big way.
Okay.
Companies are using AI to analyze market trends, predict customer behavior, and personalize those marketing campaigns.
Okay, so DeepSeek again, probably really good at that.
DeepSeek would be fantastic for that,
Yeah.
but also ChatGPT, with its strength in generating creative and engaging content, can be a valuable asset for marketers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like pretty much every industry is
It's everywhere.
going to be touched by AI
Yeah.
in some way.
It really is transformative.
So as AI keeps evolving, like where do you see this going?
Well, I think we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative applications emerge. The key is to approach AI with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to explore its potential,
Right.
but also being mindful of those ethical considerations
Right.
and ensuring that we use it responsibly.
For sure. For sure. Well, this has been a fascinating conversation. I
Yeah.
feel like I've learned so much about DeepSeek and ChatGPT.
Me too.
So as we wrap up here, what are some key takeaways?
Okay, well, first, I think it's important to remember that AI is not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay.
DeepSeek and ChatGPT are just two examples of the incredible diversity within the AI landscape.
Right.
So it's essential to choose the right tool for the job.
So figure out what your needs are.
Exactly, and understand the limitations of each AI model.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Secondly, I would encourage everyone to stay informed about the latest developments in AI.
Right.
This field is rapidly evolving.
It is.
New breakthroughs are happening all the time.
Yeah.
The more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to harness its potential.
Right. And navigate all the challenges that come along with it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, this has been a really awesome conversation. I really appreciate you joining me.
It's been my pleasure.
And for our listeners out there, be sure to check out the show notes for links to the DataCam article we discussed,
Yeah.
along with some other resources.
It's a great article.
Yeah. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.